Hey, everybody.
Hi.
So glad that we're here. We made it to another week.
God bless.
Woo!
Every week we say it now. God bless.
It's so big. So I hope you can all see us okay. We were working out the lighting. But Makeda always looks lovely. Let's face it.
Thank you. I think
You're
so do
welcome.
you.
I think it looks a little shadowy on my face.
Do you want to switch? We can switch if you want.
Maybe we should switch. Don't you think it's a little dark right here?
Okay. No, I think it's lighter over on this side.
Oh, really?
Like the light sources, don't you see it on the wall more there than here?
I don't know.
We better just bring it closer.
We just added some more light.
Okay, that works.
Oh, I think that's a little better, but whatever. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and let everybody in the room who's coming in on Zoom.
Yay.
And we're going to... All right. So, should we start?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So, welcome everybody to...
Get your chocolate on.
Good job, girl. So I'm Dr. Amanda Kemp.
And I'm Miss Makeda.
And this is our weekly show, which is brought to you by Racial Justice from the Heart. And Racial Justice from the Heart is an education and consulting company that exists only to create profound human connection with a concern for justice and compassion at the heart of it.
Ooh, Mike.
You like that?
We need to start archiving these so you can put one as a mission statement.
I know, because it's what is it? It's a little different every time, but that is the heart of it.
Exactly. You always capture the point. It's very interesting.
Okay, this child is never disagreeable when we're one-on-one.
Oh my God.
I'm like, I love this Makeda. Stay with me.
I'm positive. Okay. Let me
So what's our episode about today, Makeda?
Today is all about improvement in general. In particular, you gave a really good resource we can use called habit stacking.
Oh yes.
I
haven't shared that with them yet.
Good, but I'm so excited to get into it. It's such a cool idea. Exciting.
And we're also going to talk about our feelings, because our country is meaning the United States of America, had a super crazy event yesterday.
Yeah.
I wonder if we could maybe start with that and then go to the
yes,
non-resolution solution.
Let's do it. We got to work through.
We got to get this off of us, right? Yeah. And we want you to get off of you, so we invite you to use the chat.
Yes. Can you put it on speaker mode for me?
Oh, put what on speaker mode?
Like one of these.
What do you want to do?
Oh, this one.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't have the mouse.
That one? Speaker mode?
Yeah.
Oh, we are the speakers. Oh, we have to pin ourselves. Okay, stay with us, everybody. Stay with us.
That was gonna bother me. I needed it.
Yeah. That would have bothered me too.
Okay.
So, do you want to just do a brief recap of what happened yesterday? I mean, because we were separate. So
I didn't even know what had happened. I don't get the news on my phone anymore. So I felt like, oh, maybe I should get the news back on my phone.
Because if something really bad happens, somebody will call you.
Yeah, I mean, someone did call me and someone texted me as well. And so, I mean, basically there was a large march on the Capitol, into the Capitol, through the Capitol, done by largely the right-wing Trump supporters who didn't support the results of the election. I know everybody already knows about it.
I know, but it's always good to get us on the same page.
Yeah, okay. And I think a lot of people, it was shocking. It was disappointing for many reasons. And it was just, it was kind of a wake-up call in a sense. Wake-up call after wake-up call after wake-up call. It seems is what we're getting here this year. And I think it also, to have this happen in the new year was kind of disheartening for people because we were so ready to pretend 2020 didn't happen. Honestly, I think that's what people were ready to do.
Yeah, just to put it behind us.
Yeah,
and Trump behind us.
Exactly.
But he's not going like that.
No, I mean, I said he's been way too quiet. Like, I haven't heard a peep in the news about that man in a minute, and that is not normal. It's very much not normal. So it was interesting. That's how I feel about it. I just felt surprised.
Yeah.
Disappointed.
Surprised and disappointed. Well, I was driving home and I was so glad I was coming back home because we had taken a couple of days off to celebrate our anniversary, and we were listening to the news like, what?
I know.
What? These people are marching on the Capitol building, broke through the police barrier, 6 barriers deep, and are in there rummaging through lawmakers' desks. And they're being met by paintballs. I was like, paintballs?
Comedy.
I just couldn't. That was one thing I just was like, I don't know. I just couldn't. I couldn't wrap my head around it. When do people get met with paintballs?
That is the question. I know, that's exactly right. Never in history. I don't think.
I didn't know that was a thing.
No, actually, I didn't know that was a thing either.
For the police force? I had no idea they could do that.
I didn't hear about the paintballs.
Oh, you didn't hear
They've
about
been doing it all along.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. So the whole paintball phenomena. So okay. So that I think they are terrorists. Yes, thanks, Felicia. So
And the lack of the word is also
the lack of that word being used
annoying.
against them. And so I think obviously for a lot of us and all the Black people I've heard being quoted in the media are like, what? This is what happens when white people with the Trump flag do something.
Yeah.
They get paintballs. And, and they get pleaded with. Okay. So that, I know that causes emotions.
Yes.
Obviously, it's still causing emotions over here.
Oh
Because you feel it, like, how unfair is this? Right?
So unfair when it's your loved ones' lives on the line too. It's a different type of sting, I feel like.
Yeah, it is a sting. And I think I think that's one of the things we're dealing with is the sting of it. And you mentioned the surprise and the disappointment, and for so many of us being ready to move on 100%, surprise and disappointment. And also, I've been I listen to a lot of different sources. So Makeda knows, I don't even all the things I listen to, but I really try to keep myself on keep a spiritual and a 3D human level in terms of my understanding of what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
I try to keep a broad view, and
Yeah.
I want to be in on the immediate level too. So what do we know from other sources, spiritual sources, is that, so we're in a period of chaos. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to say that. And in chaos, the unexpected, the disruption of the routines, and in a lot of ways, it's a good thing, because it's not like the status quo is great.
And when you look at it in the everything happens for a reason type of scheme, again, it makes sense almost.
Yeah. If you look at it, so what is this opening up for us?
Exactly.
What's the possibility here by this action that these people have taken? And, and I just want to prepare us. I guess I feel like you, but I want to prepare all of us for ongoing troubles. Honestly, let's be real. As you said, he was a little too quiet. He's already talking about running for 2024. Millions and millions of people voted for him, even someone in my own immediate Black family, maybe more than one. So what are we going to do? I mean, it's not like these people don't live here, right?
That's what she said to me earlier, really got me thinking, like, yeah. I mean,
these people live here. So it's like they're going away just because he's leaving the White House.
It's just hard. I don't know, because that's what happens. Again, with the looking back at the history, this is exactly what it's leading up to, like two completely opposite sides of something, just head to head. And it's so much just tension and pushback. So, and someone, I just feel so like sensitive. I don't know, like I'm right in the middle of a lurch or something.
Yeah.
I just want something to like push, something to give, I guess. And but I know that's kind of reckless, because that could mean anything, I guess.
Well, so yeah, we want something to give. People like you, me, I know that I'm sure a lot of people here who attracted racial justice from the heart, who are sensitive right? And we feel this pull. I mean, I'm feeling something in my lower back right now. So I just want us to know, though, just to be, this is not going to be like this. There's going to be this constant kind of, there's going to be more upset.
I know.
And, Joe Biden is not our savior.
No.
I'm just being for real, right? So one of the things that we can do is commit to not getting, what's the word I'm looking for? Super polarized.
Yeah. I agree. I think I do get it when people, if you voted for Trump, like, don't speak to me, don't interact with me, I don't want to deal with you. But I also think it's so damaging and so limiting all of a sudden to take on and react to those labels so strongly too. Like you said, looking at it from a spiritual level, you have to ask yourself, what are you here to teach me? What's your purpose here? It's not the same as mine, clearly, but how can I don't know, just, not so much taking things personal, even though it is extremely personal, I think, especially for Black people. And that's why it stings so bad and everything is so hurtful, honestly. But I guess at this point, there's nothing left to do but try to, like, be the bigger person. And that's,
Yeah. I mean, partly be the bigger person, so elevate spiritually.
Yeah.
And, but that doesn't mean that we don't have our feelings. And
Exactly.
I guess that's what I feel like. So I want to suggest that we use something called feel flow. And feel flow is based on a few different things that I've been exposed to. One of them, which is from the Buddhist tradition, from Tara Brach. It's called 2 Wings of Awareness. I call it feel flow because it's like allowing your feelings to flow. Because when we don't allow them to flow and we just keep consuming media, for example, it just starts to build up like a volcano. And then it's like, it's exploding or imploding.
Exactly.
But neither one is really good for us.
And like, for me, I can always tell much is built up because right before I leave the house, I'll get like caught in something and I'll get like very nervous all of a sudden or something like that. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, like, I forget that that everything I'm consuming is real and it's very physical.
Yeah, it does get in your body.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And if we walk around with a lot of fear, that's also a physical effect on our bodies, and those of us who have kids that we're responsible for, young people who are taking their implicit or explicit cues from us, when we're in a state of, like this, even if we don't say those words, we communicate it to our kids and the young people who we're, anxiety, as Elise is saying, is undigested fear. Yeah. So I think one of the most important things we can do as change makers right now is to let the feelings flow through us and to be choiceful about how much and which media we're watching, And Makeda, you also said something, I'm not sure what you said, but you made me think of also be intentional. What is it, the energy that you're going to be putting out there? When you go out there, what is the energy you're putting out there? Because, and this is just where we come from, we're not just physical beings, we're energetic and spiritual beings. And what we bring, what we put into the mix impacts other people.
Let me tell you guys something I've been doing that's been helping me recently with my anxiety and whatnot.
Good. So I want to know.
It's so good, I promise. So when I go out now, I try to give every stranger I see a compliment inside of my head. So it's getting me out of that judgment zone and moving me into more like a gratuitous, that's the word, a gratuitous space. And it makes me feel so much better, so much lighter, and safer in general. Because I realize it could be a thing with my generation, but there is like a lot of judgment in my head a lot of the time. And so moving with that judgment, when I'm like exuding that, I'm also like feeling it in me as well. And it's like, you automatically assume everyone else is doing what you're doing. But if you're going around complimenting people, no one feels as hostile, I guess. And to me, I often feel just like, I just make up hostility sometimes. It's something that I do. But to switch it up and reverse and do something like that, I can't help but feel like my energetic body is at such a better spot than it would be if I was out not being conscious of what I'm exuding, what I'm putting on others subconsciously.
Wow.
I recommend it. I really do recommend it. And I was consciously trying to do it and still failing. So it was definitely like hard to do at first. No, not that it was hard to find things to compliment, but judgment would still come to my head while I'm trying to think of something. And I'm like, get out of here. Like, go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's good. I really recommend it.
Wow. Yeah. I like that. It's so specific. Okay. So say specifically what it is so that people can do it. What do you do?
So if you're in the grocery store with your cart, every person you come across, because hopefully it's not too many at once, it's just a few per aisle. You're just looking at them in your head. You have a mask on. Maybe you smile, but you're looking at them. You're finding something to compliment. Like, that shirt looks very nice on you today. Or, oh, you have very pretty eyes. Something like that. And it's just like, even thinking that to them, you sort of want to smile at them and just not like be so stingy and scared of people all the time, you know?
Wow. Okay. I just want to say that is really good. That's so practical. And that is concretely a very good way to stay out of dualism.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Out of polarity.
And out of me versus them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Because you're right. Depending on what you consume right before you leave your house, you could be like, you got your dukes up and
seriously.
Yeah.
The dukes up.
Yeah. Wow. So I just want to encourage people to check it out. We'll put it in the comments too, the link to the feel flow process. But let me just tell you what it is. So in addition to doing this very beautiful practice that Makeda has brought to us, I think, and I'm going to do this, and I recommend we all do it frequently, especially through these, let's say through the first 100 days of this year, with all the chaos happening. So feel flow is a way of letting feelings, acknowledging what's already there, one at a time, one feeling at a time, and letting yourself feel it for 90 seconds. And then, finding another feeling that exists in your body, letting yourself feel it for 90 seconds. So it's like, instead of not paying attention to yourself or continually talking to yourself about the thing, about whoever it is or whatever it is that you're upset about, you just let yourself feel the feeling, but don't keep running the thought. And it will actually flow through your body. So
that sounds really nice.
Well, so the whole idea is that the feelings are there. And if we don't give them space to move along, so Diana says she sees it as allowing, or Diana says it's allowing. Yes, so it's allowing a feeling. It's there. It's not like saying, create a feeling, make yourself feel happy. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, check in and say, how do I feel anxious? And then you say, okay, where's the anxious at in my belly? You put a hand there. You just go, yes. Yes, anxious. Yes. Yes. Not, why do you feel anxious? You shouldn't feel anxious,
the big
Amanda.
why.
La, 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 la. He didn't do that to you. No, don't go into a narrative. Stay with the feeling and the breath.
Yes.
Put your timer on 90 seconds. And I think we can put that in the chat for you before we leave for the day.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Because I often think about, like, my therapist always says, your body remembers things, or when you choose to stifle emotions, it comes up in other ways. And I always think, well, no one's told me, like, how do you not stifle an emotion? Sometimes it just doesn't want to come up,
True.
It's so,
yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
No one ever gave me a solution to letting go of stuff before.
Well, I did invite you to the Woman of Color retreat where we did this.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Maybe you'll come to the next one. Because we do it. We do it on Women of Color retreat. And we actually do it in our Transform Your Hidden Racial Bias workshop. So white women can do it too. But we do it. And because Heather says emotions are like taming wild birds. Well, we really it's energy. Emotions are energy. And we really want to let them flow through us rather than let them build up. So those are just two things. I know you all are feeling a lot. Makeda, do you just want to sometimes, because we can see some folks is on the chat on Zoom, but if there's anything on Facebook, Makeda's also catching that. So we appreciate people being on both platforms.
Yeah, Kate is saying memory is stored in your body, muscles, nerve tissues, etc. And yeah, I know there's science to back that up as well. So that already kind of stresses me out. Like, is there any way I could get rid of it in my body? Are there like masseuses who move energy?
Well, feel flow.
Oh, feel flow. Let's feel
help
flow.
you. It will help.
Should we do it?
Okay, let's do it. So I'm gonna walk you through it very so it's 90 seconds. So I've set my timer. I'm Virgo.
Hi, Virgo.
It gives me a sense of safety when I know a timer's on, so I'm not going to be asked to do anything too long.
Me too, actually.
It might be kind of difficult.
Sometimes, do you ever stop and think, oh my God, did I press start on the timer?
Yes. Or will I be here forever doing this thing that's kind of hard, like meditation?
Yeah, or did I miss it?
Okay, so I kept my timer set. So first of all, I'm going to ask us to just notice a feeling you're having right now. So it doesn't have to be a negative feeling, but just notice one feeling that's very present for you. So have you found a feeling or identified a feeling yet, Makeda?
Yeah.
Okay. So then you want to put one hand or both hands on anywhere in your body where that feeling is living right now. So you just move your hands to somewhere on your body that you can reach where that feeling is right now. And then you just want to say out loud, say yes to that feeling. And I'm going to start the timer, and you're just going to keep saying yes to the feeling. You know, you can say it quietly, you can say it loudly, but just keep saying yes to the feeling for 90 seconds, starting now. Just keep saying yes to the feeling that is there. Just allow it. Yes. If you need to move around to let yourself feel it, to say yes, move around. If you need to say something out loud, if you need to scream, if you need to let the tears flow, just say yes. 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 Yes.
Oh, I forgot.
So that was the 90 seconds. So very nice and easy. Come out of that if you had your eyes closed. Be gentle with yourself. I know it was an alarm, so it's kind of abrupt, but you know, be here with yourself. It's okay. You can notice that I'm feeling my body because I want to be in my body. Yes, because power is inside your body.
I have to say that felt really nice.
Yeah,
I thought so. I think I was feeling anxiety, so it's like it's such a silly emotion that once you say yes to it, it kind of fades off a little bit.
Yeah, I picked anxiety too. Oh, it looks like a lot of people did. Anxiety. So yeah, I found that it dissipated. The more I said yes to it, the lighter it was.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, oh, this is really, really nice.
So this is nice. And this might be good followed with a nice hot bath, which Makeda and I love. Can you pass me my water?
Yeah.
So the other thing is, so Heather says it really helped. Oh, and her feeling was loneliness. Yeah.
It's good to feel that one too.
Yeah. So the other thing that you can do is to drink lots of water, and especially during COVID times, they say hot liquids are really good to prevent, COVID from getting into your lungs. But water is also a carrier of energy. So if you want things to move, drinking water helps you to move it.
Someone on the Facebook, Erica said she felt fear. Megan said she's feeling more energized afterwards. Larissa says she picked anger and it dissipated. I could see more clearly.
Yeah.
Another one. It's like all of these emotions associated with shame that when you really let it flow, it's like, ooh, just kind of goes sometimes.
Felicia is saying, how do you release rage?
Ooh,
yeah.
That's a tricky one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Multiple feel flows.
Well, actually, I have done it a few times in a row, but that was more closely associated with, shame and disappointment in myself. So yeah, I think the first thing is accepting it. And it feels bad to feel rage. I mean, it doesn't feel good in your body. So, which is why we don't want it in there. But if we don't let ourselves feel it, it's just going to hang around. And, you might need a loved one with you, who's going to let you feel the feeling and not try to solve it for you. You know what I mean? Who's just going to let you feel it and not try to say, but Felicia, try to talk you out of it.
I'm one of those ones. I don't handle emotions like rage well because you do want to solve it logically off rip. You want to say, oh, this and that. But I know rage is it's a consuming emotion, and it's just like, I don't know. I picture like a storm and you're just like a little seed sitting in the middle of it. And it's just like so much swirling around.
Oh, so Felicia, I think that is a good suggestion. And that is, I've also used art, and I don't mean like, I don't know, trying to be a great artist, but moving pencil across the paper, just let it come out, not necessarily as words. And so that can be something. And sometimes I'll write a letter to God, or write to, an ancestor who's passed on. Because I think rage is really a broken heart.
I think so too.
I think it's a broken heart. So, maybe what's really there on top of the broken heart is the rage.
Heather says that she walks and walks when she's enraged until any action that needs to happen is clear. So like, I think that's good. The physical exercises. Yeah. Like, I would definitely be more of like a pencil to person paper.
Pencil to paper person.
Yeah, pencil to paper person, and write everything out. Like you said, write a letter. Sometimes it's directly to somebody that I'm upset with. I'll write it, and if you're really bold, send it. But I normally just burn it, and burning it can feel really good too. It's like, here it is, like, this is it, you bastard. And then set it on fire and be like, I'm done with you. Like,
yeah. One thing I'll say that I've learned, in the course of doing racial justice work, and, various reactions and actions I've taken with people is, maybe I'll write a letter to the editor, but I won't write a letter to a person.
Oh, I like that.
You know why? Because it depends on what my intention is. If I just want to get something off my chest, I could write anything I want and send to whoever, but that doesn't necessarily
scratch your itch.
But if there's something, so we could talk more about that if people want to talk more. So I know we said we wanted to get to some non-resolution solutions. So I just wanted to say out loud that
Yes.
I reached out to my friend Lewis, who is Lewis Jackson, who is one of my friends from when I was like 20 years old, so 30 years now. And because I was going like, oh, I want to detox from sugar. And so I called him up. I was like, I want to do a 21-day sugar detox, Lewis. He's a yoga teacher and all this other stuff. He's like, why you want to do that? I was like, I don't know, because it's bad for me. And he's like, yeah, but what's going to happen on the 22nd day? Like, I'm going to go back to eating sugar.
He sounds like a good friend, but a pain in the butt.
He is. He is. And so I was like, okay, so what do you suggest, Lewis? Uncle Lewis, this is Makeda. Anyway, this is like their fake uncle. So he's like, well, he suggests you want to build new habits. He said, and the first place to start is tracking. Your first habit is to track what you're actually doing
in a day
with the thing that you want to do something different with. So for me, it was sugar and alcohol, and alcohol is a form of sugar. So he said, instead of saying, I'm going to give it up for 21 days, track it for 21 days. So you get to understand when are you taking it, and what's the actual amount that you're doing.
Yes,
because most people underestimate how much we use our favorite devices. Most of us will say, oh, I have 1 or 2 drinks a week, or I run 3 or 4 times a week. We're totally lying. We're just lying. So anyway, that was one piece of advice he gave me. So I am tracking my alcohol and sugar right now.
Nice.
But then he also sent us something via email. I wonder if you could share it with people.
Yes, of course. So this is
this
is what I was talking about, the habit stacking situation. So here's basically the formula for it. So you have either before or after, that's how the sentence starts. Before or after your current habit, I will, or you will blank, and that's your new habit. So for example, after I pour my coffee cup each day, I will meditate for 1 minute. So it's about incorporating the new habits on top of your old habits, hence the stacking method. And so he starts off with things like that, the author, and it's like pretty simple. And I like this. After I get into bed at night, I will give my partner a kiss. Like little things like that too, to just, I guess, improve quality of life little by little without like trying to, because I feel like when you try to do this big 360 and change like your entire morning so that you can meditate, you get a little maybe overwhelmed, or you feel like I'm a new person, this isn't gonna last. Something like that. But if you're incorporating it with your already patterns, you don't feel as like reborn, but it's good because it feels more solid also.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah. So Lewis suggested this because apparently these atomic habits, so these tiny little things that you can do, you can win.
Like in your head, you'll receive reward? What do you mean when?
Meaning like if you say, after I have my cup of coffee, I'm going to meditate 1 minute. Most of us could probably do that.
Yeah.
If you drink coffee or whatever your tea is or whatever, right?
Yeah.
You could probably, so you want to create a tiny habit that you can win.
Oh, a win.
A win. Sorry, a win. You want to create a win. And you just do your win. You don't try to do everything. You just do your 1 minute.
Okay.
If that's your thing. And then after, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks of just your win, then Heather says this is the second time that Atomic Habits was suggested to her. So Heather, maybe the universe is telling you. So after you do your win for a while, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 21 days, then you can stack on another habit.
Oh, so you have to do that mini one. I didn't read the full article.
Oh, no, that's okay. I don't know if it was in there because Uncle Lewis told me this.
Oh, okay, good.
So, right, it's sustainable, Shelley. So, yeah. So if you, and really, I love the idea of something that you can win.
Me too.
Because I took on an hour of meditation every day. And I have to say, I did do it for, maybe a month, maybe even 6 weeks.
That is really
Because I was
good.
desperate. Let me tell you, when you're desperate, you be trying stuff out and you be like, okay, let me just keep doing this.
That's true. Because what are you gonna do? Go back to not
Because
doing
you're desperate anyway. But then if things got better, and that
a win
habit,
came in.
I started feeling all the benefits of an hour a day meditation.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was like, oh, I think I kind of love my husband. Oh, I don't know, things were just happening to me. And then I kind of got off my schedule. And so,
And you noticed.
and now I don't have a habit. Now I'm like, so now for me, go back to the basics. Okay. So before I get out of bed, I will do, I have a 3.5 minute meditation. Okay. There's no reason I can't hit the button and do that.
That's exactly.
There really isn't.
You got way too many minutes in the day.
I mean,
you could do it on the toilet.
No, but you got to make a habit out of it. So you got to do it the same.
Okay. Yeah.
You got to stack it.
I'm just trying to make it sound easy as possible.
It is easy. Or I could say every time I go to the bathroom, I'm going to stay in there 3.5 minutes.
That's a good one.
And do my meditation. People be like, why take so long? Well, why are you counting me in the bathroom? That is actually, you know what? I think the bathroom, everybody. Okay. I think we should not sleep on the bathroom.
Because you have to do it.
You have to do it several times a day, probably, at least twice.
And most people, I notice people like to multitask on the toilet.
Oh my God. But let's be calm. Please. I don't know. Let's not do Facebook on the toilet. Okay. You know what I'm talking about. Something positive for yourself. Some tiny little thing.
Drink water.
Yep. You could say, I will drink water, or I might get up from the toilet, I'll drink water. Yeah, okay, maybe we're too.
I mean, but literally, that's something. Like every time I leave through that bathroom door, I will go get a glass of water. Just something.
Could do that.
Replenish what you just put out.
Yep. Yep. So you could stack it that way. So, but it's something but they say to build on something that you already reliably do.
Yeah.
So every day you reliably get out of bed, or you reliably go to bed. If for a lot of people, not everybody has something different. Or maybe you're a person who puts on makeup every day,
I don't know about every day.
Because maybe your habit could be to say, I love you.
Oh my gosh. Well, there were some other really good,
like things in I'm going to say this thing about yourself, because I think this is important. So if you do put on your makeup every day or lipstick, I don't know, every time maybe your habit could be every time you look at yourself in the mirror, you say, I love you.
Mm-hmm. I do that sometimes before I say bye, or before I turn away. I go, love you, bye.
To yourself in the mirror?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's so comforting. You're like, love you, bye. It's like, okay, see you.
Oh my God.
But so he had some other ones that were good for like social. So you can practice your social skills. When I walk into a party, I will introduce myself to anyone I don't know yet. That is good. Or when I want to buy something over $100, I will wait 24 hours before purchasing. So you can also apply it in a rules setting to keep your resolution straight, I guess. I definitely need to do that money one.
So
I'm not going to think about it.
So, and the thing about tracking is that then you report it to somebody. So Uncle Lewis, I'm actually, I don't have a date set from when we're getting together yet, but I'm supposed to report to him and show him my sheet for the week of my alcohol and sugar consumption. And that way you can pull somebody in on helping you to stay encouraged.
Yeah, it makes it so much more real.
Make it real.
Just with one other person.
Yeah. So writing it down helps make it real, and sharing with another person helps to make it real.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so those are some concrete suggestions. Well, so I think we kind of covered what we wanted to. Let's see, what any more comments from people?
Someone else got Atomic Habits from the library. Wow, everyone's on Atomic Habits recently.
Yeah.
Elise, sorry.
Yeah, that was Elise, I think. But anybody else on Facebook? Because we ignored Facebook last week. We're sorry, Facebook people.
We are sorry. There was a lot of good conversation in Facebook.
Oh yeah. Last week we talked about Kwanzaa, and I was feeling regretful because normally I go to a Kwanzaa celebration and COVID didn't do that. And so I realized, but I could have hosted something, I'm the leader in our house. So I want you to know we had a family Kwanzaa celebration.
We did. Oh my God. I didn't even put the two together.
Yeah, we did it. We did it. We celebrated.
Oops, sorry, you're still on.
Okay, we celebrated Imani. We celebrated the final day of Kwanzaa on January the 1st. And it was small. It was just 4 of us. And we talked about what faith means to us. And
it was actually pretty magical, though.
It was
We pulled some oracle cards.
Yeah, we pulled Black Angel. We have a Black Angel card deck. We pulled pulled a card. And I just want to say, so thank you, because if we hadn't had that episode where we were talking about Kwanzaa and I didn't realize that I had missed something, then probably we wouldn't have done it.
Definitely not.
So I know a lot of people want to just forget 2020, but I actually feel like there were a lot of gifts in 2020.
I agree. I learned so much, and that knowledge has made me a happier person in general.
Yeah.
I've just learned how to keep myself happy. I don't rely on a lot now to feel good, I guess. That's
no, you're totally, I know what to say to you, but you have really, no, you have, I mean, I gotta say, I guess that whole COVID thing, it just broke you out of the routine, and you had to come back home and create what you were going to do. And
we figured it out. I mean, it was you also helping me out, reaching out to people for me. So I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So someone wants to Chola wants to know, what are your favorite of the 7 Kwanzaa virtues?
Wow. So there are principles, the 7 principles, and they're all super important. The first one is umoja, unity. And I think what Makeda was talking about, she said she made a commitment when she leaves the house that each person she's going to say something nice, see something good about them in her head. So that to me is like putting umoja into practice, because that's like unity consciousness.
Oh yeah.
That's not doing us versus them. That's bringing someone closer without you, quote, physically doing anything different.
Yes.
So umoja being the first principle. Kujichagulia, self-determination. And for me, I think that's really about us, again, looking at Makeda's example. She decided, she called that shot herself. She's not waiting for somebody to tell her what to do. She said, I'm going to try this practice out. And so self-determination is you owning yourself and owning your self-care. So she noticed that her certain ways of being had her feeling bad inside herself. And so she was trying to cultivate something where she felt positive, good, where she could leave the house.
Amen.
Yeah. So anyway, all the principles are good.
That's your point. I got a favorite. Well,
what's your favorite?
At first it was Nia, but actually hearing you talk about Nia is the purpose principle. Mm-hmm. But hearing you talk about the Kuchi Chagalia is just that there's so much power in that. Though.
Yes.
And choosing to take over that, like, I don't know, quote unquote, kind of grabbing life by the balls. Like, I kind of see that as Kuchi Chagalia, like just saying, like, this is what I want. What can I do to help? How am I slowing myself down? How can I hold myself responsible and do better? And that's like self-improvement is one of my favorite things ever to do, because it's the gift that never stops giving. And it's just, I think that's all the Kuchi Gachalia is all about.
Yeah, and she's just saying Imani faith.
Yes.
Yeah.
Imani is definitely my favorite name of the Kwanzaa principles.
Oh,
I think it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
It goes along with the word faith so well. It's
Imani. Yeah.
So what an episode. I'm sweating, girl.
I know, you got on your nice little comfy. Yeah. So we're going to wrap up. And as we wrap up, I want to let you know a couple things. One is January 18th, on the Martin Luther King holiday, Racial Justice from the Heart is going to be having a 2-hour workshop called Transform Your Hidden Racial Bias. We do a lot of work in this area. And so this 2-hour workshop is a way for us to give you some concrete things that you can do. Have it be substantive. even if you can't do what we normally do over a 2-day period. It's like, it has some hump to it. So if you want to celebrate MLK's birthday and life work with us, we encourage you to take part of that. And I'll put that in the chat for you. And I think I just want to put it in the chat. Can you say something, Makeda, while I just find it in the chat?
Oh, perfect. Felicia wants to know. She wants to see my Snuggie.
Oh my God.
I got it for Christmas. It has a name, like this one it's called they call it the Comfy. But it's actually, I think it's way better than the Snuggie. I don't know if you can see, but it's a full thing. It's like a big snuggly dress with the hood. And this is like, if you are a person who leaves the house for small things, like, oh, like my brother doesn't have a car right now, so I'm driving him around a lot. I leave the house in this. And it's like, I don't have to put on a winter coat. I just kind of go through what I can in this. And when I wake up, if you have parents, or, oh my God, sorry, I'm the only one who lives with their parents. But if
no, you're not. A lot of people live at home.
Okay, well, if your parents or you don't like to turn the heat up a lot and your house is always really cold, you need one of these so you can wake up and throw it on, because this house.
I was just gonna say, I feel like that's a little bit of a comment.
It is
throwback on us.
It is. I just want to say, I've spoken to a few people, and 65 is not acceptable.
Oh my God. 65 degrees is not acceptable.
No,
okay.
No.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna go there, but I'm gonna get this
feel
flow thing for y'all,
Yeah.
because you all deserve it, and you know, we all deserve it too. I mean, you know what I'm saying.
Amen. I mean,
So
just imagine if
this video is only 3.5 minutes, so you know you have time to do this. Come on now, 3.5 minutes. That's all it's gonna take.
What do you call it? Action put into classrooms, feel flow. That would be so healthy for kids to learn early on, especially if they could learn anger is conquerable. You can learn to kind of sit with it. That would be very different.
Speaking of this,
or shame, embarrassment.
Yes,
I would love to learn to deal with those early on.
Well, Makeda, you do work with kids, so
I can try, but
3.5 minutes. You know,
I'm
just saying, you know, try it out.
I'll
try it out with them.
I'll try.
Okay, so we put those in the chat for you all. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you. Hopefully, we'll see you next week, which will be. Will you include MLK workshop info in the newsletter? Yeah, I'll send an email about it too, Felicia. But I think I also put it here. The MLK workshop is in the chat too. So just look for it there. Okay, we're gonna end here.
Oh, okay. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
See you next week.
Hopefully we have better news next week, you know.
We will.
We always do. Just
get your chocolate on.
Okay.